In 1920, a remarkable alliance was on display at the first Tennessee League of Women Voters meeting here in Nashville. I'm Candace Corrigan, and in this episode of A Vote of Her Own, the musical, I asked Dr. Carole Bucy to give us some background on that historic meeting.
In May of 1920, there was an amazing meeting in the Tennessee state capitol in the House chambers. It was the last meeting of the Tennessee Suffrage Association. It was changing its name and now becoming the League of Women Voters. That was a sign that they were going to be voters. They weren't sure how it was going to happen, but they had full confidence that one more state would ratify the 19th Amendment. And so this was a very joyful, celebratory occasion, even though no one really expected Tennessee's legislature to come back into session and cast the vote. Now, among the many things on the program that day that were surprises, the one that really surprised many observers was the fact that an African-American woman, Frankie Pierce, came into the House chamber, went up to the speaker's platform, and gave a speech. What will we do with the vote? We will do what you will do, is in essence what she said. We will use it to uplift our people. She and many, many other African American women were part of the National Association of Colored Women, and that was really their motto, lifting as we climb. And she saw it as a vehicle for getting social change for African Americans in general, but in particular, she was very interested in the plight of young African American girls and women who had some trouble with the law and had to be incarcerated. And she wanted the legislature to establish a home for girls as they had done for young African American men, rather than put them into the state women's prison. And she was willing to make a deal. And indeed, she did work with Catherine Kinney to help get this school established, and she came in to that convention as a result of an invitation from Catherine Kinney, who wanted suffrage above all things. And so they worked out this political alliance, Kinney and Pierce, that they would support each other's causes. It was a remarkable meeting. I'm sure that the white women in that audience had never, ever seen a woman come into an all-white meeting and speak to them. It was a remarkable occurrence.
In the writing of the lyrics to all of the songs, my songwriting partner, Jan Henshaw, and I have tried to remain true to what the people actually said. Years ago, I interviewed a woman who knew Miss Pierce, and she said, Miss Pierce was an elegant woman who knew who she was, and she was trying to make the world a better place for those who came after her.
When we have the vote, what will Negro women do? We'll help our community, same as you, standing ready for the ballot and the problems it will heal. We are only asking for a square deal. Square deal. Square battlefields they lay. Our women kept the home fires and for our country prayed. We bought bonds and gave money and in our churches kneeled. Now we're only asking for a square deal. Square deal.
Square deal.
Square deal.
Square deal.
It is not too much to ask, it's how we feel. Square deal.
Square deal.
Square deal. Now we're only asking for a square deal.
Square deal.
This is the age of women, time to recognize our worth. We don't ask for gifts, just equal pay for equal work. Lifting as we climb, we're united in our zeal. Now we're only asking for a square